Hi, welcome back to my blog .startwithelaine.com. Today we're going to be looking at the Scallop Tag Topper punches. There's an angled one and there's also a scalloped one, but I'll concentrate more on this one. You can see that the scallop punch has a channel in which to feed your cardstock through. This measures 2 inches across. You will also see that there are little tick marks in there where you can actually cut the cardstock a 1/4 of an inch smaller, so you can make borders and layer the tags as well. So those are what those 2 little marks are for. You can cut the tags any size you want, any length, so you can have them long or shorter. That one is 4 inches and I think that's 3.5. You can also cut them narrower. I think this one is the 1 3/4 inch one where you can layer it, but when you're layering it, you need to remember that you only glue it halfway, because otherwise you won't be able to slip your ribbon through. But once you slip your ribbon through, you won't even know that the holes mismatch. If I take the ribbon, I'll show you. See, the holes mismatch, but once you slip the ribbon through, you won't notice it. And then of course you can cut them a little bit narrower, and I've just cut it so that the scallop on there it meets up with the rest of the cut line. This one has a nice little detail where it sort of flattens out. There's lots of other things you can make with the label punch, and you'd be surprised how many there are. If you cut a piece of cardstock that's 2 by 3.5, it will actually act as a layer or a mat for this stamp set, and that using the chalk top framelits and the Chalk Talk stamp set. It's this little image here really. You can also make little boxes. You could make a fancy card or a mini album. This one is a card, but again you've got that fun closure there. But the most popular one that is going around the internet at the moment was one that was designed by Jenny Pauli, who's a German demonstrator, and this is the card I'm going to demo. So let's get started. You start off with a piece of cardstock that measures 8 inches by 5 3/4 inches. You want to make a template that you can use on your card every time. So I will cut a 2-inch strip, and in order for it to match up with your card, because my card measures 8 by 5 3/4, I need that at 8 3/16. I know it's a funny measurement, but remember it's a template, so you don't need to do it again and again. Now you need your punch. Unlock it. You offer it up to the punch and go in as far as you can and punch. And you do the same on the opposite side. So now you see that the template is exactly the same width as your same length as your card. And this is 8 by 8, so that's also this is 8 by 8 from tip to tip. Now we need to bring back the scoreboard, and I haven't done it on this scoreboard of mine, but the one I regularly use, I've actually put a white marker pen and drawn right in that 6-inch groove all the way down, so that it's easy for you to find what is the centre. But the centre of the card, the width of this, which is 5 3/4, should be 2 7/8. But it's I could do it here at 2 7/8, but I just think it's easier to do it from the centre point, which is 6 inches, and you count 2 7/8 out from there. So really the edges of your card should be at 3 1/8 and 8 7/8, and the centre of your card is at 6. So now with these punched holes, that's where you can find the middle of your card, top of your tag punch, butted up to the 6-inch mark, and then with the thin end of your stylus, where the hole is, you just make a little mark, score a little mark as a reference, and you'll see why in a minute. Let's scoot that up, and you do the same for, oops, I've moved it, so I'll try and straighten it again, and you do the same for there. Okay, if I hold it up, you can see the little marks I've made there. Alright, so that basically is where you feed your cardstock in. Now, if you look at the punch, when the punch is open, it's sort of, when the punch is closed, you can see that's a straight gap there, but when it's open, it encroaches on the space here, so there's a dip. So therefore you have to feed your card in and gently tease it into the groove. It will go beyond the track, but then you can see, if I hold it up, you can see where I made that mark, the groove here, and that's where you punch. Make sure it's in the middle. And then you repeat it for the other side, so I'll do it again. Feed it into your punch. And that's the middle. There it is. And you're left with the two shapes like that. Now we need to bring back the trimmer so that we can trim off these edges here to give you this effect here. So offer up your cardstock so that the where you need to cut is actually aligned with the groove of your cutter. So dark blade, I think that's one. And that's the other side. And we need to do it again for here. Don't do what I just did, and that was to cut across my cardstock. It's very difficult to try and work when you're mindful of the camera. And let's tidy that up. That's better. I'm not happy with that, so I shall do that again. Okay. Now you only want to score one side. Okay, so this time you use the lighter blade, the lighter grey blade, and just score across that handle where you're going to wrap it round. Okay, that's where you've scored for your fold. So flip it over with the straight edge against your simply scored board. Now you want to score at 4 inches, which is the width of your card. Okay, that's it. So when you close the card, then that should meet up. So I'm going to be stamping with the celebration set. If you spend £45, you can get a stamp set for free, or paper or accessories. I think I'll stamp with the pistachio pudding first. Stamp some more leaves here. You can get blue flowers, so we'll have a blue flower there. This is Coastal Cabana. And we'll come back to pistachio, no, not pistachio pudding, crisp cantaloupe. And we bring back our Tombow. This is a new bottle, so I think I better be gentle with it, so I don't get too much glue everywhere. Then we'll pop that in. And then I'll use this lovely paper from watercolour paper. Pop that on there. And then last of all, thread your ribbon through. And now punch, stamp and punch some flowers from this lovely Petite Petal set. This one. It's got a matching punch. You can buy it as a bundle. And I'll just punch a couple out of some pistachio cardstock. and if I can find my scissors somewhere, I don't know where I've put it. We could cut out some leaves. And I'll just get my bone folder just to curl those a little bit. Then bring our card back, put some dimensionals on the back of this. Take the backing off. Should put it there, I think. Pop a bit of glue on the bottom there. And last of all, it needs a sentiment, so I'm using this one called G Thanks, and I'm going to stamp it in crisp cantaloupe, and this set is from the Really Good Greetings. So that's all about the tag topper punch. I will be putting the projects that I gave you a sneak peek of in PDF format, and these will be able to purchase online as a tutorial from me. And if you need any supplies or items, or would like to hold a party or join my team, then do get in touch with me at blog.stampwithelaine.com, or visit my online store, which is here. Thanks for watching.